Welcome back to our journey with TypeScript. In our previous class, we learned about generics. Generics helped us make our hospital system smart enough to work with different data types without losing safety or clarity. Now, as our application grows larger and more complex, we need another tool, one that can automate behaviors, reduce repetition, and enforce rules without developers manually writing extra code every time. That tool is Decorators. Let's picture this analogy. Imagine you're designing the software for a hospital, a huge medical institution. Every day, doctors join or leave departments, surgeries are logged, patients' record must be protected, drug prescriptions require validations. But the system is getting large, repetitive, and error prone. Small mistakes, huge consequences. In such cases, we need automation. We need automation for certain things must happen automatically without developers manually writing extra code. This is exactly where decorators step in. They let you attach behaviors to classes, methods, properties, and parameters. So let's look at the first decorators, that is class decorators. So class decorators you can think of as auto registration of all new departments. So in a hospital, whenever a new department, for example, let's say cardiology or oncology, is created, it must be registered with the hospital registry. So before decorators, developer had to remember to register them manually, but they often forget, and the hospital dashboard breaks. This can be solved by making departments self-register themselves. So this we can use class decorators to achieve this. So let me just create that. So let's say I have my hospital registry, which is of type any, and it's an array. It's an empty array. Let's create a function to auto register. It will have a target, and it will be a function. Yeah. Let's just console log over here, saying we have registered. We have registered so and so target. That is the target dot name, and we'll say department added. Department added. Okay. We'll say hospital registry dot push. So let's add this particular target to the hospital registry. Okay. So this is defined. Our function is defined. Now let's do this thing. So we'll do auto register. Let's say the cardiology department. So that is class cardiology department. And we, what it will do is it will treat heart this thing. So we'll create a function treat heart. It will just return saying, let's say it performs ECG. So we'll say perform ECG. We'll say performing ECG. Performing ECG. Okay. Yeah. Let's try this. So to try this, we have another command that is ts node. So what this command ts node does is it will do your TypeScript compile and it will run your code after that. Once it is compiled, it will run your code. So we can avoid the tsc and then node command. We can do this in a single command. So with ts node, I will call my index.ts. Yeah. And as you can see, it has registered my cardiology department and it says cardiology department added. So yeah. So this was auto register, the class decorator. So auto register runs as soon as this class loads and it receives the class constructor. It registers the department automatically and no developer is required to manually add this department.
What metadata can we access inside the class decorators?
See, now over here, this function auto register, what this will do is once I create a class, like over here, I've created my cardiology department. And if I didn't have this auto register, then as a developer, I would have to manually add this to this hospital registry. So I would have to do this hospital registry dot push and this particular cardiology department. But what does auto register my class decorator does is I don't have to do this each time manually for each particular department. This will kind of automatically handle it. So it is kind of like a automation technique wherein the developer doesn't have to keep in mind to add each department manually each time. It will kind of automatically add it to the hospital registry using just this decorator.
Okay, thank you.
So let's move to our next decorator, that is method decorator. So method decorators you can think of as uniform operation logging. So doctors, they perform various operations. They check the vitals, they perform surgery, and they update the patient status. Some doctors log their actions, some forget, some log in inconsistent formats. This creates audit issues and compliance problems. Let's say the management insists every critical method must log automatically. This is a perfect use case for a method decorator. So let's look at a method decorator now. Um, Let me comment this. Yeah, let's say I have a function known as I want to log the operation. Any method name is a string and descriptor is a property descriptor. Yeah, let's say my constant, I will define one original to be the descriptor dot value. Then my descriptor dot value is equal to a function where I will pass args any. I will do a console.log over here saying this method name called with and whatever was the args, the arguments. Yeah. I will store the result in original dot line this and args. I will console.log. Let me just copy this console.log. This method name returned with this, returned with this, and in place of args it will be result. Yes, I will return the result. Surgery department. We want to log the operation here. It will perform the surgery. Patient name will be a string. Surgery performed on this patient. Yeah, yeah. So this was actually method decorators. Method decorators we use when we want to enforce that any class performs any particular function. So we need to make it mandatory for it to implement any, let's say, a function. So in those cases, we use the method decorator.
Let's say I accidentally give the same method name in the child class, then which one gets executed?
Same method name as in,
Like the name that you have taken here, if
yeah.
I take use the same name in a child class,
Hmm.
what gets executed in the code block?
So you mean like in this child, you define perform surgery.
Yes, yes.
What I've done here is I've created my surgery department. And in this, I've made this perform surgery as my log operation. So even in your, let's say there is another class which will extend this particular class surgery department, and you define the same perform surgery, and even that is a log operation, then in that case, in that child class, that specific function will be called.